Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Friday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. It's 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, this morning I was trying to figure out what to do for a video, and I see that Trump's mugshot is one of probably the biggest trending story overnight, late yesterday, overnight, last night, and into this morning. And I just passed over it. I didn't see myself talking about it. It's a mugshot. I see somebody with the wheels of justice turning. I'm not going to get into the whole thing of why I see it as somebody being called out for their actions. The phone call to Raffensperger, like I said, I heard that with my own ears, and I'm amazed that people can look at this two different ways. People could look at this as a poor innocent president being persecuted because he's running for office. And the way I see it, as hearing that phone call and actually hearing him ask somebody to make up 11,780 votes, here asking Raffensperger to make those votes up, So to me, there's them and there's them and there's us, two sides and the mugshot. And I didn't see there was much to talk about it. Now, you guys know that I talk, if you watch my channel, I talk a lot about empathy for, I don't know what, for whatever reason, but since I've been in recovery and I've gotten my soul back, as I said, I really feel a very strong sense of empathy. When I talk to people, when I see stories, I put myself in their positions. When I see somebody's face, I could feel, I swear I could feel their emotions. Right, and that didn't occur to me until with the whole Trump mugshot thing, until I saw this article. This will be right on top. It's a BBC article. It's entitled "What?" It's a BBC article called "Americans React to Trump's Mugshot," and I think that's what I'm going to call this video. I want to ask you guys. This is the question to this morning: what do you see in Trump's mugshot? Because putting politics aside, like I said, the whole thing about why he's being arrested, how there's two sides to it. Some people think he's innocent, and he was just one of the people in this story said he was just questioning election results. No, it was more than that. That phone call wasn't just questioning election results. He was asking the Secretary of State to make up 11,780 votes and giving him excuses on how he could do it. I heard it with my own ears. Okay, so putting politics aside, I never really thought that people would look at this mugshot with such different perspectives, and just looking at his face and taking away different perspectives. And I found this morning, after reading, there's basically, liberal Democrat voters like me, and then there's the Trump voters, the Republicans, the Trumpers, the MAGA people. And my take on his picture doesn't fit with either one of either group. I don't know. I was debating whether I should tell you guys right off the bat what I see before I read these comments. I got about 5 comments, like 5 or 6 from half from Trump voters, from Republicans, and half from liberals. And I don't fit in with either one. I'll save that to the very end. I'll save my perspective. It's not like either side. Okay, so I was amazed that people could see such different things in just looking at this mugshot. Okay, this first person voted for Donald Trump in 2016, 2020, and she plans on voting for him again in 2024. Her name is Crystal Myers Barber. Like I said, this article is going to be right on top, so you can click this and read all this yourselves. Okay, and Crystal says, he looks very upset and actually disgusted. It makes me very sad to see this. Look at that picture. I don't see him looking sad. I do not see him looking sad. I don't see him looking disgusted. Those are two words that would not be anywhere on my list of what I see when I look at that mugshot. But she's a Trump voter, so okay. Here's what she says next. He's tough, and it gives you a perspective into why they vote for Donald Trump. A lot of them talk about his ratings, and he's the most photographed person. Like, he's very popular, and voting for him make other people make them popular, and they get their strength from him. It gives you a view into why they voted for this. Because for the life of me, I can't understand why anybody would vote for this guy. He's tough, but I can see he appears to be hurt. It appears to hurt him within. Look at that picture. Do you see a man that's hurt within? I don't see that. I do believe it will help his ratings and backfire, though. Okay. Let's see. The next guy, I believe, is another Trump supporter, Luke Gordon. Like I said, it's amazing because politics aside, just looking at a face, a human face, this is what they see in it, and I don't see any of those things. Not in the least. That he's disgusted or hurt. Look at that mugshot. Luke Gordon, the mugshot was unnecessary and vindictive. I'm going to talk about that more in a second. No, I might as well talk about it right now. When I realized he was processed at Fulton County Jail, all of a sudden that sounded familiar. When I'm on the treadmill every day, I don't have my internet up here. I watch reruns on my phone. And I've been watching 60 Days In. There'll be a link down below. And I knew it sounded familiar. In seasons 3 and 4 of this show, where they sneak prisoners, regular people, or people that are in the judicial field, they sneak them into the prison, and they show how ridiculously dangerous and terrible Fulton Prison is, and other prisons. And these are people, they got arrested just like Donald Trump. What if you watch the show? And this is where they wait. This is where they go. Donald Trump was arrested for 13 felonies, and he was out of that jail in 20 minutes. Watch this show and see what happens to other people who just get arrested for a couple felonies, and what they go through, and how long they stay there. They stay there for months. Granted, Trump is a billionaire and he could bail out or bond out, but still, watch this show and watch the average American and getting arrested and going to that jail and what they go through. And this guy says the mugshot was unnecessary and vindictive. A mugshot he's being treated like he should be treated, like a normal American citizen, and it's these same people that say he's not being treated like he's being picked on. Unbelievable. And I might as well talk about this now too. He's 6'3" and 215 pounds. It says, oh my God, somebody is lying somewhere, because I am 6'3", and I'm mostly muscle, and they say muscle weighs more than fat. But I went down to about 190, 185 at my leanest muscle. I'm 6'3", and I probably weigh about 190 to 195 right now. Probably closer to 190. So Trump would weigh 25. I do not believe. I think, honestly, I would put money on it that he weighs over 250 pounds, because I have weighed 270, 280 pounds, and I looked like Donald Trump when I weighed that much. I'm the same exact height as him, and back then I was out of shape before I got clean and sober. So this thing about 215 pounds, that cannot, unless he went on a starvation diet for the last week or two, and I wouldn't put it past him. I don't think he has the willpower to do it at all. I think he pays other people to do the hard stuff for him. But anyway, okay. This guy calls him the most photographed person in human history. Again, we're getting back to, he's a popular guy. He's the most photographed person. His ratings, these are the Trump supporters. These are the things they talk about. I don't see any of that. Like when I want to vote for somebody, I want them to be honest. I want them to take care. I want them to be concerned about the things I'm concerned about. Whether they're popular, I probably prefer that they weren't all that popular, that they were just a regular person doing a job, that doing things, taking care of business that I think is important. That's why I would vote for them. But the last thing I would vote for somebody is because they're popular or because they're the most photographed person. Okay. He goes on to say, voters who feel the system does not apply an equal standard of justice to politicians like the former president will be instantly mobilized. And at first I was like, I can't believe this. This guy is saying that he thinks that, I had to double read it. He's actually saying that he thinks politicians are treated more harshly, like Donald Trump. Again, I go back to the 60 Days In, and him being in and out of there in 20 minutes. Even though he's a billionaire and he was able to bond out, the average person that goes to that jail, I urge you to watch 60 Days In and see you would not freaking believe what the average person, what a real American citizen will go through if they have the misfortune of being arrested in Atlanta and going to that jail. They will not be out in and out in 20 minutes. They talk about the smells and the sights and the sounds and the blood and the rust and the stink and the violence. Did Donald Trump see any of that? I highly, highly doubt it. And this guy is saying that poor Donald Trump was treated more harshly than the average American citizen. Wow. All right, let's see. All right, now I think the rest of these, okay, I think the rest of these are liberal, and I don't agree with them either. This guy, Isaiah Reeves, he says he simultaneously thought that the photograph was hilarious, yet not as funny as he had hoped. He looks more stern, which adds humor as well. You know, and I do see the sternness, but I'm going to talk about what I see in a second. You know, so a lot of the liberals talked about how it's funny, it's hilarious, you know, or it's not as funny as they thought it would be. I really don't see anything funny in this. I don't. I'm not that kind of person. You know, he did some. I've been arrested before. You know, he did something illegal. I heard him on that phone call. I know he did something illegal, and he's being called out for it. I don't see anything necessarily humorous in that. Even though he's had this coming for a long time, that doesn't make me laugh. Okay. Okay, that was Isaiah Reeves. Let's see. Joey Blackburn. He says he looks angry, which I find refreshing, because he says Joey Blackburn says he usually looks smug. I don't find this photo refreshing. I'm getting to that in a second, what I saw in this photo. Anna Bosking. Now, she's interesting. She's a liberal Democrat, too. She's 21 years old. And she's got an empathetic view, kind of a little similar to mine. She thinks it's a national embarrassment. She talks about how this is somebody we picked to put on the world stage as the leader of our country, and look at him now. She talks, even though she's not a Trump supporter. And she went on to say that it's good because it proves that no person is above the law. So this 21-year-old woman had the closest feeling as I do but not all that close to what I saw when I looked at Trump's mugshot. All right, so like I said, you could read all these. There's a few more too, and I urge you to read the BBC article right down below. What I saw when I looked at Trump's mugshot, it scares me. It does. I see a vindictive. I wrote it down here. I see a vengeful, petty, vindictive man, a very angry sociopath. That's exactly what I see. I worry for the country. I think that if he does get elected, he is going to spend his time. What I see in his eyes, without a doubt, is I'm going to make people pay for this. You know, I don't see him taking care of the country. I don't see him taking care of immigration or the economy or the Ukraine and Russia or whatever. I see him taking care of what matters to him. And the top thing will be vengeance and vindictive. Look at his face. I see vindictiveness. I don't see anger. I see rage and anger. It's to be honest, to be flat, I don't like saying this, but it's that mugshot scares me. It scares me for the country. I think he's going to treat at least half the country, the people that don't vote for him, he's going to treat them as enemies, and he's going to take it out on them if he's elected. I think if he's not elected, he's going to blow this up even bigger than January 6th and say it's all because of this, that he was arrested and he didn't have a fair chance and the election was stolen from him again, and the deep state and the swamp and blah, blah, blah. And he's going to have a bunch of people backing him, and with that vindictive, it's this attitude with how he got this whole following, the MAGA following, this white, wealthy, suburban guy that always wins, that is always on top, that is never accused badly of anything, that always has the best outcomes of everybody. And I think he's become accustomed to that. And it enrages him that he's actually being called out for his actions. He can't even, I don't think in his mind he can even comprehend that he did stuff illegal. I don't think he even believes, that's how, when I say sociopath, I mean that. What I see in that mugshot, man, I'm not kidding. It scares me. I see a vindictive, when you talk about like a villain from a movie, that's closest to what I see when I look at that face. I see an angry, vindictive, vengeful man that is going to take this out on the country one way or the other, and the people that did this to him, including over half of Americans. The people that didn't vote for him, the people that consider themselves Democrats or liberals, the corporations, all the way up to rock bands, to actors, to corporations, anybody and everybody that did this to him are going to pay. That's exactly what I see in this face. And it scares the hell out of me. I'll be flat honest. I don't see anything funny about this photo. It scares me, and it scares me for the future of this country. And that's the truth. Like I said, I think him weighing 250 pounds is a complete load of horse crap, man. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think he weighs, and tell me what you see in this mugshot. I have to know what you guys see. Don't say what you want me to hear or anything like that. I want to see I want to know exactly, truthfully, what you see in his mugshot. All right, I'll be back later with another video. You guys have a good Friday.